Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Yippee! Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Without delay, we will go right to Kevin in the Long Beach. How you doing, Kev?
Yeah, hey, Ant. Yeah, Midnight Hammer. Quite an operation, right?
Yeah, Midnight Hammer, yo.
They used a lot of different delivery systems, though. You know, they used submarines and the B-2 and all of that. And they're only in the Iranian airspace for like 4 or 5 minutes. So
Yeah, very quick, in and out, no air defenses. They didn't even see them.
Very strategic. But I think there's a lot of information we're not privy to. You know, something happened. You know, Israel did it first when they went and did that decapitation move and took out all the senior officials.
Right.
But something else is going on. And then Trump, I think, probably got a little angry that they did it. And then they wanted help when they, secondary action there. But, I think there's a lot more going on than we know. You know, we'll find out as time goes on.
Oh, there always is a lot more going on, Kevin. Always. And, we unfortunately are left to the devices of the government telling us what they did. Like, first of all, why would they tell us anything? And then kind of filtering it through the mainstream media, which is a propaganda wing of the left and of the government in some sense. I think they've kind of lightened up a little bit on some of the subject matter as far as Trump goes, but they're still liars. We really don't have anything. I mean, we saw 3 or 6 holes in a mountaintop, and we're told that it was an incredible success. It was completely destroyed. Now, I understand. I know how these bunker busters work, and there was a lot of cement dust and whatnot covering the mountaintop, so I assume it got down through the cement to some extent, but we really are only left to what they say. There's no other confirmation like with other bombings, satellite photos, other countries sending pictures and stuff. We really are only dependent on the government to tell us that it was a success. And, of late, we're not very trusting.
Like when they told us there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, right?
Yeah.
These are all the same people cheering this on. It's the neocons, Lindsey Graham, Nikki Haley, all of Fox News, Sean Hannity. They're all pounding their chests, but their kids aren't going over there. You know what I mean?
No,
I mean, I'm on a lot of MAGA chat lines, and a lot of them are angry because he promised no boots on the ground, but I don't think it'll come to that. I really don't.
We'll see.
Balls in Israel's court, and Israel can take it. Go ahead.
We'll see, Kevin. Thanks. Thanks for the call, bro. I mean, to jump the gun and just say he said no foreign wars, no new wars, no boots on the ground, and we're not in that. To say we're not in that right now. Well, does that mean we're not going to be? There's a lot of ifs and what ifs with this whole situation. What about retaliation? If this does happen, we have to respond. What if American soldiers are killed at some overseas bases in the Middle East, which are easily targeted and delivered, weapons can be delivered to them from Iran? We will have to do something, obviously. This nuclear facility hit was very, very surgical. It didn't claim the lives of civilians. It wasn't in a city where people are. It wasn't apartment buildings or a hospital. It was what Trump had said he wanted to go after, especially even through his campaign, saying we need to make sure they don't get nuclear weapons. And this could fit that bill, as I said. But does it go further? And then you have to ask, well, what? So we're not supposed to do anything because they might retaliate after? That's not really a good excuse to not use force because you're afraid of what the other side might do in response to that. If you do that, you can be threatened by anyone, anytime. Well, I don't want to touch him. He might hit me. Sometimes, you got to hit. But let's go to Tommy. Tommy in Brooklyn. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, Ant. Just saying, as a longtime listener, talking to you over terrestrial station is wild. I wasn't
Crazy,
around
right?
for the O&A days, but this
It's
is
insane.
pretty awesome.
It's insane.
Yeah, so
I love it.
A primary motivation of the 9/11 attacks was America getting involved in the Middle East. In no way am I saying we should just lie down and take anything, but the Trump ticket in MAGA was foundational on being America first, staying out of the Middle East, no foreign wars. On the 2015 trail, I know I'm going back a while, but Trump literally in front of Jeb Bush said, your brother destabilized the Middle East.
Right.
How does bombing Iran and getting involved in yet another conflict in the Middle East benefit any American? And doesn't this cause more conflicts than solve anything? In your opinion, what would 2016 Trump think of this? Because as of now, it's dividing the MAGA movement. I don't know if you saw with Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, that spat on X, but it's something to watch. And the whole right is crumbling, and I'm not being over dramatic, but I'm punching out, man. Thank you for your time, and thank you for all the laughs, man.
No problem, Tommy. And I will say, especially what would the 2015, the first term Trump think? Well, the first term Trump, he had an airstrike in Iran. It was, it was a strike. I think a lot of people are looking at this like we're getting involved in a much wider conflict, which again, we might be. I don't know if this will lead to something else, but right now I really don't see that Trump has done anything more than he's done in the past, taking out terrorists, taking out missiles, retaliation for shooting at American bases years ago. This is stuff Trump has done, and every single president has done strikes such as these, and it didn't necessarily mean we were going to war with them. It was just necessary at the time to do this. Now, again, you bring in the Israel factor, and a lot of people start talking about being a puppet to Israel and being under Netanyahu's, spell. And I think that's why so many people have more of a problem with this than they had with so many of these other strikes that a lot of presidents have done in the past. I have a list of them I'll go through when we start talking about some of these politicians like Schiff, of course, and Crockett, AOC, and Pelosi, who are saying that Trump didn't consult with Congress and get approval, and War Powers Act, and which is all nonsense. I mean, they're again lying. But these things had happened before, and there wasn't this issue of what is going on? Why did he do this? Is it going to put us in a deeper what? They talked about it, but not to this extent. And it hadn't fractured what I seem to have seen as a very strong coalition within the right, MAGA, Republican, conservative. But we're kind of seeing that now, that fracturing. So I don't know.